Peace. Welcome back to the channel. Man, the journey of building this YouTube channel has been such fun. That's all. That's just to put it in the simplest terms. Like we're having so much, fun just, sharing our perspectives on this platform and then watching our channel grow and just seeing the videos accumulate. Like, oh wow, we put out 2 videos, 3 videos. Now I think this is our 7th video. And I know by the time this uploads, we'll probably hit one of our milestones, which is 100 subscribers. So congratulations, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna throw some confetti down here on the camera. But you know what I'm saying? We appreciate everybody that tunes into our channel and look forward to the information we share. But today is gonna be such a important topic and such an important principle that everybody should have. You feel what I'm saying? And today we're going to talk about integrity. And let's get into it. I'm going to let Jessie tell y'all what integrity means, and then we'll just have, we'll talk about it.
Well, first of all, welcome to Sagittarius season. We're in a new sign, and I trust that this season will bring you all expansion and exploration. And yeah, let's get into it. He just showed this. We got some of our apple ginger juice from the ConsciousSpot, our plant-based meal prep company. This is one of our favorite juices. If you have not tried it yet, try it. Send us a DM. We will ship nationwide. We're located in LA. And yeah, let's get into it. This is a topic that is very, very important to me, both of us. But like specifically for me, this is something that is a part of my daily lexicon and something that is very much at the forefront of every single thing that I do.
Correct.
And kind of on a side note, since I brought up the ConsciousSpot, I'll link down below. I have a video on my personal YouTube channel, the Holistic Intuition, where I talked about the origin and all of the intention, all of the whys of why we created the ConsciousSpot.
Right.
And one thing that I talk about in there so much throughout the whole video is integrity. And that's something that we carry through every aspect of our life. A lot of times we feel integrity, we see people showing signs of integrity in certain areas, but they neglect it in other areas, and they make excuses as to why it's okay here and why it can be neglected here. So really, let's get into it. What is integrity? To me, integrity is having a strong set of morals. It is your moral compass. It is your guiding system. So a lot of times people will look to outside sources for their morals. For example, religion. I need a religion to tell me what is morally good or bad.
Right.
I don't like to look to outside sources. I like to go within,
Right.
because that is my best teacher.
Right. What do you feel? Right.
So integrity is honesty.
What is honesty?
Honesty is showing up authentically to how you feel, saying how you feel, meaning what you say, and having that be the driving force, not the outside things of, well, I don't want to say that because then it might make them feel this type of way, or I don't want to do that because all of the becauses.
Right.
It's about what feels right within.
Right.
And yes, you need to come with love, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's what honesty is. Honesty is love.
It is.
Honesty is thinking about how this decision is going to have an effect on maybe even myself or other people. You know what I'm saying? So honesty is love. You know what I'm saying? Is thinking from a loving way, like really thinking ahead, when you make decisions and having integrity. And I feel like a lot of times, people, like she said, make excuses. I remember one time we were in a conversation with someone, they were telling us about, this was the beginning of COVID, and they were talking about like how, stocks, I don't know if you guys are familiar with stock investing, but anytime there is, the economy is crashing, for example, in COVID, all the stocks went up for COVID testing, all the supplies, because everyone needed to be
for vaccines,
for vaccines.
For a lot of things,
everyone wanted, needed to get tested to see if they, had the fake virus or whatever, right? And people was like, bro, you can invest in the stocks, we're gonna make money. And I'm like, why would I invest into something that is corrupt? Why would I invest in something that I don't align myself with? I would never do what they would do in my own life. I would never operate on the level that they operate on. So why would I, if I can't stand behind something, then I ain't gonna do it. And that's what integrity is. It's knowing who you are and standing on your 10 toes. You know what I'm saying?
That is a great example of kind of what I was saying before. Is, for example, some people might say, oh yeah, I have integrity with my friends. I'll be loyal to them and this, that, and the third. But when it comes to money, all that shit goes out the motherfucking window. Money and everything to do with sex and dating and those types of things, it's like people just, that shit drops off. Not all money is good money. Okay? We have to remember that every single thing is an energy exchange. And that's the same thing with money. It's just the lowest form of energy. You know what I'm saying? And back in the days, we could barter, we could trade, and we understood the value of these different components that people were offering in the community. Now we just feel the need to give money or take money. And this is a little side note, but I remember when that happened, because I was there too. And this is just a great example of how you need to let people tell you. You need to let them show you who they are. Because I could have easily jumped in and been like, no, that's fucked up. The energy's fucked up. You don't want to accept that type of money. Doesn't matter how much money you would get from that stock, blah, 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 blah. I didn't say a word. He came in with this smooth, integrable, honest answer. Right. And in that moment, he was very sexy. Honesty is very sexy.
It is.
It's not always the easiest thing to hear, but like he said, that's what love is.
Right. It takes courage to
it
be
does.
honest.
It's very easy to go the short route.
Right.
It's very easy. And you end up with a result that is short-lived, usually.
Short-lived.
But when you take your time and you understand that there is no such thing as time, so there's no such thing as rush. So what is the point of me cutting a corner? The only thing I'm cutting is an experience from myself.
Yeah.
I am detaching myself from something that I could have experienced and learned and shared in order to make a quick buck, in order to just get a quick nut of instant gratification.
Every time you go against your internal morals, you're detaching from your character of who you are. So, a lot of times people, especially like in the financial system, people get on this pedestal and they want to get in certain jobs or certain careers, and they lose themselves. They lose who they were. Now they're depressed. They're hanging out with people that they don't fully resonate with, or they just are a bunch of people pleasers now. And so, like, anytime you feel like something is off, or you feel like, you feel that gut feeling of like, damn, I shouldn't really do that, then you need to listen to yourself. Because like she said earlier in this video is, integrity, that's your internal guidance system. That is, and a lot of times when most people don't move out of integrity, so when you in a group environment, people are going to, they're going to be sheep. They're going to encourage you to not move with integrity. They're going to try to manipulate the way you thinking, but that's where you got to, take that lonely road of standing on what you feel. You know what I'm saying? So that's
don't go with the herd. Majority of the times, the herd is not the way you want to go. That's the way that's the common result. And when you see that result, is that something you want? And then kind of going back to what he said too is, what if you're like, well, I don't I don't know what my body is trying to tell me. I don't feel a gut feeling. I don't feel bad if I make a decision that is not full of integrity.
Right.
Then I just encourage you to go within and start opening up these channels.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Start really like asking yourselves questions. Like, okay, so I made this decision, right? Let's go back to that example. Let's say I bought the stock and I made money. What is the result of that? Because every single thing has a cause and an effect.
Right.
And it might not look exactly the way you thought it was going to look. It might not have, maybe the result is you keep the money and you have fun with the money.
Yeah.
But karma comes back around and you get fucked in a different way.
Right.
Someone is disloyal to you.
Right.
Someone steals money from you.
Right.
It might look very different, but every single thing has a result. And a lot of times we're just on these autopilot ways of thinking, and we have these results happen to us.
Yes.
And we don't take any accountability. We don't look at it as, you know what, this is an undesirable result. So let me backtrack a little bit. What was the cause? You cannot just look at the result of something and say, well, I just don't like this. And it's just, why is this happening to me? We co-create with the universe. So if you don't like that result, go back to the cause. Ask yourself questions. Would I feel confident telling somebody else, a stranger, my parents, my grandma, about what I did in this situation?
Right.
Or would I feel shameful? Would I feel embarrassed? Would I
Right.
feel like I could have done better?
Right. And I feel like when you make decisions out of the lack of integrity, you lose your passion. Right? You lose that connection that you had towards this thing because there's no intention. There's no like deep knowing of the reason why you're doing this. Right? You just doing it because you think you want it, you think you need it, or you think you need to do it.
Or like some people just do things because, well, I just want money.
Right.
Okay, so what's the deeper reason?
Right. Why?
Because the money isn't going to be attracted to you long term if the only thing you want it for is just to have it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or because of superficial reasons.
Right.
Like, this gives me status. This makes people like me. This gives me materialism.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, for example, something that we hold a lot of integrity in and towards is the conscious spot. And like I said, you can check out my video if you're interested in that, but everything we do with the conscious spot is full of integrity. We don't we don't go to these big wholesale places to get our food where we could save a lot of money, because the intention of this is not to just make money. The intention is to inspire people to create food and eat food on a regular basis that heals you and nourishes you.
Right.
What kind of business would this look like if we talking about alkaline food and, you know, hydrate through your juices and all these things that we talk about, and we gon' go to motherfucking, what is the place? Restaurant Depot to go get our spices or to go get flour? That doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't.
And the source, universe, the unified field, whatever you want to call it, they're going to pick up on your confusion. And you're going to start receiving things that you don't want because you're not being clear. Our business is very clear. It's based on love for the collective. We want to give you guys nutrient-dense, flavorful food. So we not take our time. We put in intentional energy anytime we create.
Every time.
I set the mood. I have the doors open. We got fresh air flowing in. I have something lit, some incense, some whatever. I have some high vibrational music on. The house is clean. The stove is clean.
And
everyone is in a positive state.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, a lot of the times, you know, when you move out of integrity, things in your life will start to become more meaningful, right? Because now you're not just doing things because you think you want it. You know what you want. So now you have a vision behind why you do the things, and Now you have a purpose. So now that's going to drive the passion. You have that fire on what you're doing. It doesn't feel blank. Like, it doesn't feel like you're just selling me something. It doesn't feel like, it's just, it feels deeper when you talk about it. It feels deeper when you experience whatever that you're putting your energy into, right? So moving with integrity will allow you to get more deeply connected with yourself, right? So we always encourage, people to move with integrity, because that's how you figure out who you really are, because it's your morals is what you stand for. So never sacrifice your integrity for anything. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it could change your whole financial situation, because like she said, energy, it comes back. And a lot of times we don't understand why things are happening into our lives, but when you take the time to dissect how you make decisions and the way you think about it, you'll realize that it's just something you already put back out into the universe, and it's just coming back to you. You know what I'm saying?
And, that's a deeper conversation, because a lot of times things are happening and they could be lessons from past lifetimes, that maybe you did something intentionally or unintentionally that hurt other people in past lifetimes.
Right.
And that energy is coming back to you in this lifetime, and you might not even remember why.
Right.
So there's so many reasons, there's so many layers to this conversation. But I feel like the most important part of integrity is maintaining self. Like he said, you're going to sabotage your own self if you don't move in alignment with you. We are all designed in certain ways, right? And when you deviate from that, you're going to feel it. And that's why certain things are so normal now.
Yes.
Not normal, common. Not normal. It's not normal. It's not normal to experience anxiety every day, and depression and bloating, and you can't go to the bathroom, and you can't voice your feelings. That's not normal. But it's common, because this is the society, this is the culture of this society that have been implanted into us. So it's like, if you really want to know yourself truly at your core, you have to practice integrity. And you can't skip steps.
No.
You can't say, well, I'm going to do it here and do it here. But when it comes to women or men, well, I'm going to still talk to some other people.
Right.
Oh, I'm going to be a little flirty when he's not around.
Still going to have casual sex. Whatever.
That shit's going to come back to you. That energy is always going to be there. It's not just going to dissipate now. And lastly, it's very, very important to know and be confident in the people that you keep in your circle. What do their principles look like?
Right.
Do they abide by them?
Right.
Or do they just talk about it?
Right.
Or is it completely void of any conversation?
Right.
Like, integrity is something that has brought me to Raw time and time again. When we first met, I could feel it. I could see it. I could hear it when he talked. I could feel it when he moved. There was nothing where I was like, ooh, I don't know, it's a little slimy. Never. Because that's not who we are. You know what I'm saying? We in a lot of ways, like we always say, we attract what we are.
Right.
And that's something that's very important to both of us.
It's very important.
There's a lot of, we do a lot of things, right? We create a lot. He has his own marketing company. We have the Conscious Spot. We have these YouTube channels. We're doing a lot of things, right? Yes. There are so many things that we could have done if we were just trying to get to the bag real quick.
Man.
We could have sold our soul.
Man, plenty of people do it. You know what I'm saying?
And it looks in different ways, you know what I'm saying? It all happens in different ways, but it's like, come on, bro. I could have over-sexualized myself and made plenty of money.
Right.
He could have aligned himself with people and organizations that don't support him as a person just to make some money.
Right. Or I could have just created a bunch of fucked up business models where I know I'm scamming people, which people do. You know, it's like, man.
So what do the people in your circle look like? Are they going to support your integrity, or are they going to make it harder?
Yeah, and also you just got to be careful of the energy you keep around you, because your subconscious will influence you. Your subconscious is going to influence your conscious. You know what I'm saying? So if people around you don't have that right, they don't have the right type of principles and morals, then people that you hang around, you're likely to become. So definitely protect yourself from that energy and just, stay on your own path. You feel what I'm saying? But, but that concludes the video. And, we appreciate everyone that tuned into this video today. We trust that a lot of the perspectives that we shared in this video were insightful and you guys learned a lot from it.
And if it's something new to you, something that you haven't really put a lot of attention on, we just invite you to ask yourself questions.
Yeah.
Maybe journal about it, talk to people in your circle about it, and figure out, what are my principles?
Right.
What feels like things that I may be missing? Or maybe I need to lean into something a little bit more.
Right. Yeah. And that's really it. So we appreciate everybody. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn those notification bells on. Thank you guys for 100 subscribers, and we'll see you in the next video.
Peace.